The crisp Alaskan air filled my lungs as I took in the beautiful scenery surrounding our campsite. My boyfriend Mark and I had been planning this camping trip for months. We wanted to get away from our busy lives in Anchorage and enjoy a peaceful weekend out in nature, just the two of us. After setting up our tent and building a cozy fire, we decided to do some fishing at a nearby creek. The day passed blissfully. We caught a decent amount of fish that would make for a delicious dinner later that night. As the sun began to set, we cooked up our catch of the day. The salmon sizzled perfectly over the open flames. After eating, we cuddled together on a log, enjoying the bright stars overhead. Mark pointed out various constellations to me as he stroked my hair gently. I felt totally content being here with the man I loved. Just then, a loud crashing noise erupted from the brush behind us, like a large creature barreling through the trees. Adrenaline shot through me as we jumped up to peer into the darkness. The woods had gone silent once again. "Probably just a moose," Mark muttered, but he didn't sound totally convinced. I shivered, suddenly feeling very exposed out there in the wilderness. "Let's get inside the tent," I whispered. Mark nodded grimly as we hurried to zip ourselves inside, hoping the tent walls would provide some sense of safety. We lay there rigidly in our sleeping bags, ears straining, waiting. Then, heavy thudding footsteps, moving slowly, deliberately towards our tent. My heart pounded in my chest. This was no moose. In the deafening silence, I could hear the breath of some giant beast outside. Mark scrambled to shine his flashlight through the tent mesh. As the beam of light illuminated the face of a monstrous ape-like creature, it let out a blood-curdling roar. "Bigfoot!" I screamed in sheer terror as it ripped violently through the tent. Brandishing its deadly claws, the furious beast swiped at Mark's face. Blood sprayed my eyes as I shrieked his name. I gaped in horror at his slumped, lifeless body next to me as the creature's deafening wails filled the darkness. I tore through the shredded tent fabric and burst outside into the night, running for my life. My legs pounded the earth as I raced through the woods in darkness, Mark's blood still blurring my vision. I could hear the enraged beast rampaging through the forest behind me, getting closer. Suddenly, my foot caught on a rock and I tumbled forward. As I hit the ground, a searing pain exploded through my temples. My sight went hazy and shadows closed in all around me. I felt my grip on consciousness slipping. I awoke sometime later, stirring in a bright white room that smelled strongly of disinfectant. As my eyes adjusted to the light, I realized I was lying in a hospital bed, my head wrapped in bandages. A nurse came over to check on me. Apparently, I had been found unconscious in the woods after some campers heard screams. I recounted my story in bewilderment to the authorities. They sent search teams out, but found no trace of Mark, no monster, no shredded tent, nothing but the remnants of a dying fire pit. The doctors claim I must have suffered a bad fall, which caused me to have night terrors about the attack. But I know what I witnessed. Still, no one believes such a creature could be real. I lost Mark, but I got saved by Bigfoot.